Okay, so we're going to talk about being disciplined today and how we can thread that line. There's obviously two extremes of being not disciplined at all and being too disciplined. But how do we find that for ourselves? Are we somebody who needs more discipline in our life? Do we need less discipline in our life? As a person, how do you find what's right for you?
You're asking the question about discipline and how do we find what is right for you. You have to find that rightness for you. It's like this. Discipline comes in when you cannot just go the way you are going. So it's a feedback. If your life is unfolding beautifully, then I guess it's okay. Then you can go as how you are. If as you are, life is unfolding beautifully. Let's say we take diet, for instance. You can eat whatever you want, you stay in shape, your blood sugar is good, then you just go with it. But let's say something happens and it's not going the way you want it to go. Now a discipline is needed. You see, most people live just reacting to life. They go, they live, they go to school, they study, they get up, they move on. If that works for you, then being right by that will be your discipline. If that is not working for you, the time for discipline is now. The way I have found through my studies, my research, and what I've been teaching all these years, almost everybody has to learn the discipline that is right for them. The notion of discipline is if I let it go, it's just going to go wild. If I let it go, it's just going to choose the lowest expression possible. A human being can live an immaculate life, a brilliant life, or can live a very basic life too. Our civilization proved as a human being, we adopted discipline. And looks like the way life is going, there are areas we need to discipline ourselves. So if life is going nicely flowing, then the question of discipline doesn't come. But if life is not flowing the way you want it to flow, then you have to look into a discipline. And what the discipline will do will hold you in a state life flows beautifully. So what I'm talking about discipline is, how do I hold myself? What are the things I have to tame about me? If you study the ancient Hindu scripture, it's all about discipline. Not the way your headmaster or your teacher discipline you. It's all about an internal discipline. To live a life without ego, to live a life without greed, to do what is right. Why were we taught to discipline? Because there is a part of us that can go wild.
We're animals.
If you take that direction, which means to say, like if you take the Hindu analogy, first thing we pray to this elephant god. He represents the first chakra. He represents the animal in us. The first thing you do is you discipline that part of you. Again, I must caution this. What is right for one might not be right for another. Discipline is not predetermined by some authority. You must find the discipline for yourself. Because the word discipline also has been used by people to oppress. Like if you take the China Revolution, the Mao's revolution, the Red Revolution, they were trying to discipline their people and they killed 60 million people. Almost most politics are about a certain discipline. So I'm saying the word discipline has also been abused. Just because you need to hold yourself right, many have exploited that to abuse you. That's not what I'm talking about. Discipline is I am looking at myself and see how if I live, it is right for me. I give an example. For a long time, I ate normal meals like everybody else, 3 meals. And someday it was not working. My blood sugar was messed up. Then I started eating 1 meal a day. And for the last 3-4 years, it worked. And lately, it's not working. Now I have to find another way to deal with it. Maybe I overdid it. So discipline is for individual. Like this, I gave another insight. One of the discipline I live out is I'm very careful who I let in. I'm very careful who I am close to, who I'm intimate with. I'm very careful. I determine that. I have to live that discipline. If not, for me, things fall apart, things go wrong. So, who I let in, who I trust, who I embrace is a discipline I need to live out. If not, I can't hold myself rightly. So, now, you're asking what is the discipline? We begin this way. Is life going as how you like it to go? Is life flowering? Then don't interfere. If life is not flowering, then you have to find what is missing. How should I hold myself? It's like you're having a garden. If everything is blooming beautifully, leave it alone. Somehow it is abiding by the right law, right discipline. If it is not going the way it should, it's becoming wild, then I guess you have to implement some discipline. Now, let me finish with this statement. In order for you to be in the best shape you can be, in order for you to be in the best form you can be, in order for you to live the best life you can live out, find out what is the discipline that is missing. And the discipline might be you need to freak out on Saturday. You need to have a discipline that I work 5 days. Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to chill, be a kid. Maybe that's what is needed. If not, you might become too nerdy. So no one can exactly tell you what is the discipline. You can learn the discipline from many people. The result of discipline is a life that is working. Does that help?
Yeah. But how do you figure it out, right? Like, you are a very disciplined person. You found out you weren't even diabetic, you were pre-diabetic. And then that was the day in our home. I was 10 years old and we had no sugar in our house overnight. We only had everlasting gobstoppers because you didn't care for candy. But you had that. Obviously, you had Amma's support that she would cook you all this freaking delicious food somehow that had no sugar and rice and all of that in it. But you have that in you. For some people, that comes harder, right? Or do you think it comes hard to you too?
No, I don't think I have it. I know the consequence of not having the discipline. I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a lot of students, a lot of disciples, I have a lot of work to do. I cannot afford to be sick. Do I want to eat that chocolate? You bet. Do I want to fill my fridge with ice cream, macadamia ice cream? And I would love it. But I know the consequence of not living the discipline. You see, a part of us, you must admit, all of us we just want to let go. We just don't want to care. We just want to go with it. There's a force within us. Just go. It's the addictive part of us.
Yeah, it's a part of you that's like, I'm so tired of being good.
Yeah, I just want to.
I want to be bad.
I want to be bad. I just don't want to care. But now the word is I don't want to care. That you have to take care of. You must not let that part get the best of you. You must not let. It is there. We all have it. So now, I think being a human is discovering the right discipline you need to adapt. Without that, you cannot function. But as a human, we have a part of us, we just don't want to think about it. We just don't want to care. Let's go. Saturday, Sunday. Even in workout, there's a cheat day. Even if you, like, say, you're strictly meditating, there are days you just forget all about it and just don't care. Living this balance is the discipline. Again, you have brought something beautiful. There's a part of me that doesn't want to care, doesn't want to give a shit. I just want to go, I want to flow. Come on, don't be so tight. This part is there. But we also know there's a part that you admit, I need to hold myself together. Now, my way, I hold myself together rightly so I can have those cheat days. You understand? So now, I am not saying kill this part. You kill it, you're dead. Then you are lying to yourself. Then you will self-sabotage. So I'm saying, how can I focus on a life that is happening, especially for young people? If I'm talking to young people, you see, as you get older, you're pretty done, so don't listen to me that much in regards to this. Because we are done, we have been there, we have traveled, we have We have lived it out to some extent. So for us to say no and to pretend that is a discipline is a lie. Right? So we are done. I've been to Paris. I've lived. You asked me, let's go to Paris. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so tiring. That's just me after living, and don't use that as a pretense of discipline. Discipline is when you're young, when you want to do all these things. You want to have fun. You want to grow. You want to enjoy. You want to not care. Now, have a discipline that supports that. Then you hold yourself whole. You understand? That means every part of you is acknowledged. Yes, I need to be right. I need to get up at a certain time. I need to work. I also acknowledge the part that doesn't want to care. It is almost like you feed the beast. Don't kill the beast. At the same time, don't let the beast take over you. Live this beautiful balance.
But how do you find, right, what it is for you? I also can be a bit of an extreme person with discipline. I can be extremely undisciplined.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick and tired of being disciplined, or I can be extremely disciplined and I can be vegan, I can be on a strict diet, I can exercise every day, I can do all those things. But I don't think that's right either.
No, I think you have to find what Buddha said, the middle path. Embrace both. The extreme is wrong. I also have that quality of extreme. Just go crazy. I think you must discipline the extreme. You must also discipline the opposite extreme. That means you cannot be an extreme person. You must function very moderately, high moderate. Like you can go this side totally and then get burnout and go this side. Like I give an example. This is where I fail. Might help you. I like to paint. When I paint, I go crazy. I will spend 3 months doing 20 pieces non-stop, 8 hours a day. Then I will not touch it for a year. That is something I must discipline myself. Even though it's not my main priority, I have this moment that I have this rush of painting, and I'll paint for 3-4 months. I think maximum is about 3-4 months. And then I might not touch the canvas for, if I'm unlucky, for a year. Then I go like, what was I doing? So I must, when I'm painting throughout that 3 months, I must take it easy. I shouldn't go that extreme. But somehow for me, that's how it works. And since I don't make a living out of being an artist, I can afford the breakdown of it. If not, every day I should have a piece of painting that I'm working on, which I set everything up. I'm not saying I don't have it. I have the convenience, the luxury. I have easels, paint. But sometimes I just don't do it. For me, the way I look at it, that is how I live my failure. That's how I live my laziness out. But I don't do that with other things. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm saying there must be something also where you express the lack of you. Now, the extreme idea is you think you must be perfect everywhere. That is the most imperfect thing you can do to yourself.
I think it's also like I find that it's difficult to figure out why it is I should be disciplining myself, where it is I shouldn't. Like, I know that I can't drink as much alcohol. It doesn't agree with my body. So then I cut out alcohol. Then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be smoking, not cigarettes. And so I cut that out of my life. Then I'm like, but now I don't have any vice because I'm being so disciplined now. Then I'll go down the other part, and like, how do you come to a place where, you know what, a little bit of this is okay? Is it experimentation?
No, you are not thinking. You are acting from reaction.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, too much this weekend, no more this month. That's what I do.
No, you're just reacting. You have not found a game plan. You haven't understood you. You just go on this direction. I'm working out 7 days a week. Oh my God. And then out of the pain, you react not to work out for another month.
Yeah.
You are just reactive. You are not having a game plan. You haven't figured out how you should be that works for you.
But how do I figure it out? I think that's more of my question.
Okay, let's figure out for Appa in regards to painting. Okay, what should I do? I should not work on big projects. I should have small pieces. I like a lot of still lives. I should always have something, have everything ready for me. That every day I at least do like 30 minutes just for fun. And I must find a way it works for me. Do you know I write? I've written many books. You know how I write? I have 2 computers on my table at all time in front of the television. You know, I have one iPad that I answer my mails or whatever. Then I have my computer.
And where he watches TikToks
Okay.
at full volume
No, I don't watch
while
TikTok.
we're having dinner
I watch.
and while we're having a conversation.
I watch Instagram a little bit. But I have the discipline to sit there because I'm kind of moody person too. I feel like writing when I feel like writing. I remember I wrote once 8 hours straight every day for 6 months to write one book. What do? I set it up in a way that it works for me. Whenever I'm in the mood, it's right in front, I can start typing. So even Anbano, they set up everything for me that when I'm ready to do, it's available for me to do. I set that up for me. If that is not there, I will not function. You see, what I'm saying is, I figured out, or I am figuring out, what is the best situation I can place myself in where the best of me comes out. Right? I think you want to escape one extreme, you go to the other extreme. To escape the other extreme, you're going to another extreme.
I think the middle seems harder.
That is not discipline.
Yeah, because
it's like you drink 20 glasses of beer and then, oh my God, I throw up, I don't want to drink. That's not discipline.
That's what I do every time.
No, that is just reaction. That means you must admit this. There is a part of me that cares and there is a part of me that doesn't care. I must care for both. Will that make sense?
Yeah.
There's a part of me, like sometimes some students coming to me listening to my talking, I talk only when they can hear. Then I say, let's stop, let's go swim, let's go shoot some archery, come on, let's go do something else. Because that part is there too. Right? Now what happens when you go to one extreme and avoid another, you will self-sabotage. It will lose the passion. If you ask me that I must write, I don't think I can write. If you tell me I need to write, you give me a month, somewhere there, I'll find the space to do it.
It seems like it's probably a lifelong journey. Like there are parts of our life we can I feel like in terms of with reading books, I've loved reading, but I remember Amma told me once, she said, if you don't enjoy the book, because if you read books all the time, you can get stuck on a book. It's not that the story is not good, it just didn't catch you, but you're 100 pages in. So you're like, I might as well finish this before starting another book. And a lot of readers have this pride that we finished the book. And she told me, just leave it. If you can't finish it, just leave it. And so then you can keep reading because you don't get stuck. But that's an easy way to say, you know what, there's sometimes I'm not feeling the book and sometimes I am feeling the book. And yes, I hope to read at least one book a month. But if I don't, it's fine. But if I do, that's great. And you can achieve that discipline and not discipline.
That means you discovered you. Like your mother, from the time I know her till now, she reads and reads and reads and reads and reads. But she has a beautiful discipline about herself of reading. She figured out. You got to figure yourself out. That's what I'm telling you. You understand?
Yeah.
If you want to be successful, you got to figure out how to manage the part of you that doesn't give a damn. You have to enhance the part that gives a damn. You got to figure you out. You cannot copy anybody. For your mother, that's how it works for you. That advice is $1 million advice. If you're not, throw it away. So now, what is discipline? Figuring you out, isn't it? You figure out how it works for you. You figure out how the best of you. You might have to work 5 days, 2 days, you freak out. Or you freak out 3 days and you work 4 days. Or how life works for you. See, the problem with people, they try to break them. They are not disciplining them, they are hurting them. You get what I'm saying? They are trying to do something to them that cannot be done. When I was growing up, remember, I read, and I've been to all of this, Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale, all the motivational talk and all the 7 habits and 12 habits. I'm telling you, it is good as a reference study. But I sometimes don't think they know what they're talking about, You are unique, There are times your mood is not there. There are times, there are other elements. There are times you're tired. There are times it doesn't mean that much. The notion of disciplining out there, I'm saying, is wrong. They are bragging about something they are doing. Maybe he can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It works for him. It doesn't work for me.
And I think society values people who are very disciplined more than they value people who are neutral.
No, I think the society values people who allow themselves to be tortured,
Yeah.
allow themselves to be masochist
Yeah.
in the name of something. No.
Masochist.
Masochist. Don't kiss the masochist. Follow this carefully. Discipline has led to suicide. Discipline has led to depression. If you follow that idea, let's say what happens, you're someone who cannot get up at 5 in the morning. What happens someone who cannot do many things? So discipline is not self-torture. Discipline is figuring out how you function the best, or the best of you come out. You see, the discipline to be with one another is figuring out how I hold myself, the best of the other is shared to me. How I hold myself, the best of the other is shown to me, and the other has the discipline. For now, discipline is like volunteering to be tortured.
Yeah.
Discipline looks like something that you must kill fun.
Do you think to be disciplined, when you are disciplined, should be easy for you?
Yes. You must be so disciplined that it becomes, I tell you something, how many years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years, I decided to fly this RC helicopter. The RC.
Not even 10 years.
I decided to fly. It's very difficult to fly that helicopter. It's not a drone. It's an RC helicopter. So we do stunts and we do all kinds of things. I was interested. I thought I'd go learn something new. I bought the helicopters. We keep crashing it. I had a simulator just next to me. I got a PC, right? Remember? I had a PC rigged up. Anba rigged everything up. I have my remote there. And then I will do my work, write my book, whatever I'm doing. In the break, I will fly. In the break, I'll fly. Like 10 hours took it up. Within a year and a half, I was almost like a pro flying. I'm almost there. I was really good. The guys who came with me were not that good. We all started same. And then we were trying to figure out what happened. Am I talented? No. I went and checked my log of how much time I spent on the simulator. I almost spent, 2,000 hours, right, Anba? 2,000 hours or more I spent. The next closest to me only spent 300 hours. But how did I cheat myself? I didn't sit and say, now I will train drone. In between things, I just fly. It's always there.
Yeah.
I just on it, I'll just fly for 5 minutes and I'm tired, I put it down, I keep working on it. Somehow, I brought that into my life as part of another thing I do, because I can't stop my life to go learn how to fly a drone. Right? So people will say, oh, you're very disciplined. I say, no, I'm not that disciplined. I just found out how to make it work for me. You get what I'm saying? I found out how to add it as an addition. Like now, outside here, I have an indoor driving range. The golf club is next to our place. It's like 10 minutes drive. I'm just too lazy to go to the driving range. It takes 1-2 hours to go and come back. So I set up a small driving range, which is using the electronic thing, right? Whatever you call it, golf simulator.
We need to mic Anba up to answer your questions. We need to mic Anba up to answer your questions.
Yeah, but do you know, I think we have it for now about 2-3 months. Do you know how much my golf swing has improved? Because I go and hit 10 balls, then I go do my work. I'm passing by, I just pick up the club, whack a 5-6 ball. Or in the evening, I just go because it's right there.
Yeah.
So am I disciplined, or am I found the way that will make me do that? Like early days, when I was about your age, I have books everywhere. I had books up the wall. And all my books, I used to have notes and what do you call the markers, So sometime when I'm studying Patanjali, I'll have all the book. I'll pull up, I'll read what I need to read. I just made it easy for me to learn it.
You know you lah.
That's it. So if you know you know how it works for you, you find the way it works. Like I will never bother how Anba edits or Anba does his work. I said, you find what works for you. Because if it is not a right discipline, you don't have endurance.
Yeah. For Anba, we do not touch his laptop, we do not touch his mouse, we don't touch his screen, we do not touch the hard drive. Apshi, don't touch my hard drive.
Okay, don't. Yeah. No, hang on. It's such a beautiful topic. I think there is a misrepresentation of the idea of discipline. Like when people say, like meditation, it's a discipline, you know. I'll always tell people 7 minutes. Just every day before you start work, just for 5-6 minutes, just sit quietly. Just look at yourself and slowly start. Yes, you can discipline yourself. You can go to a retreat and do a 21-day, 8 hours. I tell you, for the next 20 years, you'll never touch it. So what is discipline? In considering you, in considering all aspects of you, can you find a way to hold you that you can function and you can grow? The problem is, most people, because of false discipline, they quit. If somebody says, I have to go hit 200 balls every day at the driving range for the next 2 years for me to have one handicap, I probably will not do it, or it's not possible to do it. But I have a small simulator. I can just walk up there, I can just on it and whack a couple of balls, just as a relief. Now I have integrated it. It won't be long. I'll be very good at it. So now, can I state this, and for the people who are listening? Is disciplining first figuring me, figuring who I am, how I function, and then holding it? Is it what they did with Google? Is it Google or Yahoo? Where they said they created environment that is fun, bean bags everywhere, Google table, and they suddenly found the creativity went up.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, right, where does struggle like come into this? Because look at
The
like
balancing.
like as a dance, when I used to dance, right, dance is very decided. I did ballet, which is the most disciplined thing. It's not just about in class, it's about Pilates outside class, eating right, all of that. And when I was the most extreme discipline, my lowest weight, all of those things is when I was excelling at dance.
Right.
And I loved it, but it was not easy.
No, but because you repress the other part. I think a discipline is like walking a tightrope, you know. I like when people walk the tightrope and they're really good, they're smiling, you know. They really smile. I've always watched these guys. They hold the pole and they balance with their leg, you know, Anba. But if you watch them, they're actually having fun. So, a discipline is something you can survive doing and being intact. Like when you said, when you're dancing extreme, when you're doing, now it's like a sad story, you know. Even though you did well, maybe it killed your fun. So what was the discipline missing is you didn't figure out how to make it fun.
Yeah, because it was too much. Maybe it just wasn't right for me.
No. Might be, but I think you didn't figure out how to make it fun. You see, like I take the boys fishing. We go deep sea. Everybody's fishing rod. Sometimes you have to wait hours for something to hit your rod. In between, I will roast them. In between, we will make it fun. No, who gets the first fish doesn't have to do this today. You have to sit and wait. You can't command the fish to jump on your hook. But we can create an atmosphere that becomes fun. Or we talk story, we are roasting each other, we are messing with each other, we are doing something, and suddenly they can sit there for 5 hours looking at the tip of the rod.
Yeah. But what about another instance, right? I was telling myself, I mean, I've spoken about it a lot that I've been applying to university. And I told myself, okay, I'm going to be very disciplined. I've already put in the applications. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be a very disciplined person. I'm going to go on this holiday to Thailand, this and that. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to partake in anything. And I'm going to be disciplined. And if I put this disciplined energy out into the world, maybe I will be rewarded. I was not rewarded. And I was just like, maybe this discipline was not what I needed to do in order to get this.
No, I think knowing you, for you, everything must come easy. You must find the discipline to make everything easy. You are not built for suffering. You are not built for torture. Remember, this is what I was about to say. The wrong idea of discipline is embracing torture, embracing suffering. For you, I tell you this directly to Miss, not Aishwarya, Apsara.
Okay, that's my sister's name.
For me, both are one and the same. Apsara's discipline. It must come easy. How can I do it that it flows? You are not the mountain climber. Maybe someday you are not the punch through. You are the one that everything comes easy. I don't know how you got this idea of torturing yourself. Because you condemned yourself. For you, things come easy. And that takes discipline. I tell you sometime when I'm writing a book, or like I give this story, I wrote a book on Avatuta Gita, which is one of the toughest scripture to write. It's 1,000-page I wrote, a bit more than 1,000-page. It took 6 months and almost 8 to 10 hours every day, right? And a lot of people say, wow, how did you do it? See, you have no idea how easy it was. It flowed. But in order for the flow, I think I had to wait 3 months. I think 3 months I kept my computer open with the line blinking. I didn't touch it. Maybe I was flying my helicopter, or maybe I was watching TikTok or something. But when the flow happened, when I finished writing, I wrote in Malaysia, I wrote in India, we lived in Paris for a while, I wrote there. Then finally, I was in New York, overlooking the Manhattan River. On a full moon day, I finished it. I'm so proud of it. I'm like, I'm done. Then when I look back, how did I get this so much done? It was, now it doesn't feel like an effort. Why are you embracing suffering when your life's supposed to be a natural unfoldment? So you don't have the discipline not to hold yourself in suffering.
Because I think that it gives me a form of control.
No, I think you are taught to not like you. You are taught to reject you. You are one of those, everything happens naturally, from your teachers to your school to where you went to America. Your life is happening. I think this is a kind of an education to hate yourself. This is a kind of education. You are trying to go against who you are. Now, the discipline you must learn. Hear me carefully, my daughter. The discipline you must learn, how to hold yourself that everything flows. You are not built for suffering. And I'm sure there are many children out there that are similar. Some people might be built for suffering. Might be, but I've very rarely meet them. For you, things must happen. Now, how do I have the discipline to let things happen is the key.
Yeah.
I think you know what you're doing. You don't like yourself. You think, oh my God, how come people are suffering and they're getting this? For me, everything is flowing. Maybe I should go suffer. Don't listen to these people.
Yeah.
Like sometime I tell, yesterday I was even giving a talk to a group that's doing a program in Toronto. I was telling them, I know you guys will hate me if I tell you almost everything I did, how easily I did. Yes, you have watched me work my whole life. Yes, I have some relative amount of discipline. But you also must say, Apshi, will you say this? Your observation of Appa, that things happen to, I just went from one thing to another, to another, to another.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, but I think you're also like a hard worker at it. You work at it. Like with the painting, you're obsessive.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I need to discipline not to be. Maybe my obsession is my error. Maybe my 100% is probably unwarranted.
It's the phases.
Right. Maybe if I would have found the discipline not to go so extreme, I would have been more productive. I would have enjoyed the process more. Now, maybe for you, what is the discipline if I hold? I allow things to happen. Yes, you plant the seed. Yes, you water the plant. You do what you have to do, but you also let things happen. Now, I think what you need to explore is what is the discipline, how you should exist. Maybe yours is Buddha's way, middle path. Don't completely quit drinking, but also don't overdrink. Maybe work 5 days, 2 days play. maybe you should live that existence, which I believe is sustainable.
Yeah.
But I touch on this, huh? Maybe you're asking this question of discipline actually is camouflaging. Should we torture ourselves? And I'm saying no. Should we punish ourselves? No. Discipline shouldn't be punishment. Discipline shouldn't be torture. It is just holding so the best of you comes out.
So before we end, if somebody's watching and they're trying to figure out how do I find what's right for me, how disciplined I should be, I'm sure that like how I said about the books, right? That probably is what applies to everything in my life. The minute I gave up on one book and moved to another, I can finish the book in one day.
Right.
How do you find that for yourself?
First, I just go step by step. First, be very careful of the idea of discipline. It is not self-torture. Next, a discipline is how, if I'm held, the best of me comes up. Like for me, probably I wake up, no breakfast, no lunch. Maybe I eat a little bit at 5 o'clock and a small dinner, and that's it. That works for me. Workout, maybe for me, 4 days a week is more than enough. I don't have to do 6 days a week. I have to find out what works for me, what produces the best result. You have to find out that for yourself. And then abiding by that becomes your discipline. Don't listen to anybody. Don't copy anybody, because we are so unique. We are so specialized that you figure out how, if you hold yourself, the best of you comes. I think Anba eats 1 meal a day. Is it right, Anba, still? One
Yeah.
meal, maybe with a small snack. Okay.
One meal, unless there's a butter cake present.
Okay. But do you know the amount of weight he lost, the fitness? Maybe that works for him. He goes for a run. He does all that. And if that works for him, working means what? And I can sustain this. Working means it doesn't feel like torturing. Working means I can be this person by which the best of me keeps coming up. But as you said it, when you are young, experiment. Figure it out. In what way, and there's a trial and error, You figure it out,
But what if everything comes easy? Honestly, for me, being completely sober and going out is easy. Drinking a lot, also easy. Exercising a lot, also easy. Not exercising a lot,
then
even
I
easy.
guess that's your discipline. What do you want me to say? As your dad, I'm worried about a few things, but then maybe how to live at ease is your discipline. Now, in this conversation, you are making everything happening easy difficult for you. Because you got some influence, you have to be like somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch it be difficult for other people. I try it out for myself. I'm like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. And you are different than others.
Yeah.
And I think discipline is, maybe this is the word. Discipline is to figure out how to hold myself. Things unfold easily, beautifully, comfortably.
I think that's a nice note to end it on.
I think I ended with this. We probably didn't give you any answer. We give you something to think about. Discipline is one of the most beautiful things. It's not self-torture. Go learn how to hold yourself by which the best of you comes out. Give it a try.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you very much. Namaste.